short. Last year, we were dealing with a totally different issue that we, until now, a year later, has never been dealt with.
Has not been solved.
Has never been dealt with. No report, no discussion. Yet, everyone is sitting back and allowing this to happen. Do you foresee anywhere where we're going to stop?
I don't think so. If we continue doing what we're doing, we're not going to stop. But I think it's also, I want to pick something that Honorable Sosion said. We've lost control of all these processes. The first thing we've lost control of is the security system, infrastructure. The second thing we've lost control, we have to accept, is also how we are doing our demos. I agree with him on that one. Because you see, for a long time, and it's important for us to look at the history of how we got here. This thing of demonstrations collapsing into anarchy is not something that started last year. It's something that has happened regularly over the last 10 years, and it just keeps getting worse. So now what we have done, we have a system where our children, because they're literally our kids, I have children in their 20s, decided to go to the streets and demonstrate according to the law. And they did what we are supposed to do. And as Mbai says, for the first 2 days, they did it effectively and efficiently. And then our history of bad demonstrations comes in. And by day 3, that demonstration that was supposed to achieve a specific objective collapses into anarchy, right? Now, this one is not even waiting for 2 days. It starts properly as a demo in first 1 hour, 2 hours. By the third hour, is anarchy. Now it's no longer even waiting. It's actually, and today, if tomorrow somebody announces a demo, you can even predict what is going to happen. That the people who are going to demonstrate are going to be in the streets maybe between 9 and 10 or 10 and 11. By 12 o'clock, another bunch of goons is going to show up. By 3 o'clock, it will be complete disorder. They'll be looting and they'll be everything. So what we need to do is first all of us take a step back and ask ourselves what exactly is going on, right? Because we have, you see, when he's been a Secretary General, Chairman and Secretary General of a union, and they've done demos. I mean, they've called for demos over the years, over and over again.
Violence.
You know, and those demos were specific towards a certain objective, and there were people you could talk to. You knew this demo has been called by NAT, and it has been called to lobby or to agitate for salary rise or something else. So you knew the people in the street are doing this for this particular reason, and this demo has been called by so and so. So if something goes wrong, you know who to go and ask. Today, we have demos and you can't even tell who you're supposed to ask. So we mobilize, which is okay, because technology is here. We mobilize online, we go to the street, and then you want to ask, so what is the end state of this demo? So at what point will we know we have achieved what this demo was supposed to achieve? All right. You get? That's the first question. And then so you're supposed to have a petition, for example, or just agitation or placards. So the question is, so who is in charge of this demo? What are we demonstrating against? We are unhappy with Albert. All of us have a problem with what happened to Albert. All of us have a problem with what happened to Boniface. In fact, God forbid, something would have gone wrong with Boniface, we would have had a demo tomorrow about Boniface. So somebody would have called that demo and would have gone back to the streets and said, oh, you know what happened to Boniface was bad. And then in the middle of that, somebody else gets hurt. Okay. And then we pick that person and make him the reason for the next demo. And before we're just doing a vicious circle. So part of the issue is we need to step back, all of us. First, the security agencies need to create an order of what do you do during demos. For example, I'd always even asked myself, what if the county commander, the police county commander said, so you're going to have an order, you're going to have a demonstration tomorrow. Officer so-and-so is going to be in charge of this street. Officer so-and-so is going to be in charge of this street. Officer so-and-so is going to be in charge of this street. If something goes wrong in that street, whether we have looting or people getting shot or people getting mugged, the person who we are going to hold accountable is going to be this particular officer from the police force. All right. The second thing is, you guys who are demonstrating, this is what you want. Can we agree? How do we tell this is a demonstrator and this is a goon? At what point? Because you see, when you all go to the street, so you can tell the policemen, ideally because they're uniformed, and they're not supposed to have masks. That was another complete blunder this week. The court says don't wear masks. Come in uniform. so that we don't have people saying they're police officers in the middle of the crowd in civilian, and you don't know whether there's a thug or he's a cop.
Okay.
So come in uniform. But then you are demonstrators. How do we identify demonstrators? So that we're able to tell this is a demonstrator and this is a goon. That is the problem we're having. So when you see this thing collapsing, it's collapsing because there's absolutely no order on that
We've simply lost
infrastructure.
control.
We've lost control.
Before I come to you, Bwana Mwalimu Sosion, let's take a short break and come back. And the question still is, who is in control here? We seem to be descending into total anarchy. And